Alright guys, welcome back. Today we are going to go ahead and discuss the different factors that are taken into account for your credit score. There are six of them, and we're going to go ahead and just go through them, what they consist of, and how easily you can change them, if it's something you can really change. And they're going to be also listed in order from most important to least important. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that the credit bureaus use is credit card usage, and this is basically just the amount of debt that you have over the amount of debt that you can borrow. So it's basically just credit cards. There are lines of credit and that's included in this. So if you have, just to use a simple example, if you have a credit card that has a $10,000 limit and you currently have a $5,000 balance on it, means your credit usage is about 50%. So that's pretty high usage as well. What you want to do is, what they consider is good, is below 30%. I mean, if you can get down 10%, that's even better. If you can get it close to zero, that's obviously the best. So having that's obviously something you can control pretty easily. Like, it's something you can, don't spend more money than you make, so you can pay off the credit cards and have a lower, credit usage, and then therefore your score will increase. So that's just how that one is. And other ways that you can get that, to work in your favor is, so you have that same example, $10,000 card limit, and you're using $5,000 of it, is, you can always, every once in a while, credit card companies will give you an increased limit, or you can just ask, and they'll use their formula to determine whether or not you're eligible to have that increased. And so if yours increases from if yours increases from 10,000 to 12,000, that $5,000 is now out of 12,000 and not 10,000. So your credit usage will go down just by increasing your limit. So that's another way that you can help your score, is just increasing your limit. Right, and then so that's something. That will change your score pretty quickly. That's the the thing that they use, the factor they use the most, that has the biggest impact on your score. Next thing is payment history. So how often have you paid your bills on time? Goal is 100%. Just pay them on time all the time. That's simple. But as soon as it drops down to 99%, it's actually a massive difference in your score. So you don't want to miss a payment, because it will affect your score a whole lot. And that's, and it takes time to rebuild that, because then it'll take months for you to get your average back up of paying your bills on time. So that's one of the biggest things you want to do, is never miss a payment, because that will hurt your score a whole lot. And once it's hurt, it takes time to build it back up, and that's not something you can quickly change. On your credit card usage, you have ways to quickly get that under control. So that's something you obviously want to stay on top of. And same thing goes with the next thing, and that is derogatory remarks. So basically things that, if you have judgments against you, or you've declared bankruptcies, or any not paid your taxes, anything like that, that's something you can control. It's really hard to get fixed once it's on there. Bankruptcies will stay on there for 7 years. So unless you can make time go by faster, you're not getting that off there anytime soon, and that's going to hurt your score for a really long time. So avoid that stuff. Just stay on top of your stuff, your bills, your payments, all that stuff, and you won't have to worry about that. Next thing is, now again, these are least important. We went through the top 3 important things. Now the next 3 coming up are the least important. They still affect your score a lot, but in terms of the things we just listed, they will be the main 3. These are the other 3 things. And so the fourth thing is the credit age. So the average age of all your accounts. So if you've had if you have 2 accounts, just to keep it simple, if you had 2 accounts, one is 3 years old and the other one is 1 year old, if you just average them out, your average age is 2 years. So that's just how it works. So if you open a new account, like a new credit card, that would lower your average age. And this goes back to the previous one, where you cannot make time go by any faster. So it takes a while to build up your average age. So obviously people that are just starting out in the credit world, it's going to take a while for you to get above that, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 year average. Because every time you open a new account, it's just going to lower it. So, and that shouldn't, stop you from opening new accounts. Like, if you need to get a new car or, to get a new card, like credit card, like any of that stuff, obviously shouldn't stop you, but you should just keep that in mind that it will lower your score a little bit because it will lower your average credit age. So something to keep in mind. Which then brings us to the next one, which is the fifth factor they use is the total number of accounts. So the more accounts you have, the better that is. Although you don't want to open them all super fast, like next to each other, like open a credit card every month. And because that's not good as well, because that'll affect what we previously just went over as your credit age. It'll just lower your age really quickly, and you don't want to do that. So you want to open accounts slowly, like maybe every 6 months. If you're looking to acquire a few credit cards, like if you have none right now and you want to get a few, like open one maybe every 6 to 8 months. Just to keep that good amount of time. And keeping your old accounts open obviously will keep that all the way up. And just having your total accounts. Now the total accounts includes open and closed accounts. So if you bought a car, had a 4-year loan on it and you paid it off, that's not affecting your credit age anymore, but it is affecting your total accounts. So your total accounts includes all of your open accounts and all of your closed accounts. So there's that. So as soon as you pay off a car, it's still included in your total account, so you'll still have more accounts. It'll affect your credit age. So, and then the sixth thing is the least important on your credit score, but it actually, for a lot more people than you would think, it actually hurts your score a whole lot because, and this is the hard inquiries on your account. So every time somebody else looks at your credit report, if you look at your credit report, that's fine. If you look at it on like Credit Karma or like, any of your credit cards, like give you your free credit score, like that does not count as a hard inquiry on your account. It's when you're applying for some kind of credit, whether it's a mortgage, car loan, credit card, anything like that, they will do a hard inquiry on your account, is what it's called. And that's what you don't want to have too many of. So a lot of times what happens is when people buy cars, they get like 10 inquiries on their account because they're looking for all these different rates for their car loan. And those inquiries stay on there for 2 years. And so they don't like, they won't destroy your account, but if you have like 10, 15 inquiries on your account, that's probably costing you, a good amount of points, maybe like 20, 30 points. And that can be a big difference in your credit score. So you wanna be careful with that. So the ideal amount is to have like less than 5 inquiries, maybe like 1 or 2. And like I said, they last 2 years. So after 2 years, they just fall off. You don't have to do anything. They go off your account. So that's the 6 factors that are used in your credit score. Some of them are really easy to control. Some of them are easy to prevent from happening, but they're hard to control once they're on your account. Like your payment history and your derogatory marks. It's easy to not make them happen, but once they do happen, it's really you just can't really change them at that point. You just have to keep moving forward. So, and in another video, we'll go ahead and discuss what kind of score you want to have to get a mortgage in real estate. But this video here was just focused on what goes into your credit score. So, look out for the next video or another video that will, explain what kind of credit score you want for your real estate, mortgage, whether you're buying your own house or an investment property. So, until then, guys, I will see you later.